Hello friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. This week's video is going to be short and sweet. I have a lot going on, so I wanted to make sure to touch base, but I don't have a lot of time for preparation and editing of the video right now. So you're going to get some raw footage of me just discussing my work in progress. I mentioned previously that I am writing a paranormal romance set in Virginia City, Nevada. And I did get a draft of that done, which I provided to my beta reader, who is also my husband and writing partner and business partner. And he got through some of it and gave me some suggestions. So I need to go back and do some major revisions to make this more understandable. I haven't yet looked at the manuscript to see the specific comments, but we did discuss it in a more generic sense. So it is something that I will be focusing on for the next few weeks, and I will be coming back on here to update you on how that progress is going. My writing style is changing, and I'm trying to become more comfortable with a more updated writing style because mine tends to be a little bit maybe antiquated. As you can tell from some of my word choices, I'm a little old school. I've read a lot of classic Regency romances and things like that that predate even my childhood from the early to mid 20th century. That was a lot of the formative literature that I read growing up. The formative books that I read were all older books. So my language is a little bit outdated for sure, and that is something I really need to work on. So I think that may have been part of the problem with what I was trying to get across. I'm also trying to do a complicated storyline that takes place in two separate time periods, but the two time periods interact with each other, and there are two distinct couples involved in this story. So there is a lot going on, and that is why I'm going to need to sit down and really maybe pick things apart and put them back together. I'm thinking of knitting or crocheting when you drop a stitch and you have to backtrack a little bit to see where the mistake happened and how to fix it before you move forward. So I may be doing some of that with my manuscript, and that is going to take me some time. I had hoped to release this book in the summer, but I'm not sure if that's going to be feasible at this point. I do want to make it the best work possible. Like I said, I'm trying to tweak my writing style. I want to make it more breezy, I guess, maybe a quicker read, not quite so many large words, large outdated words, which is not to say that using one here or there is a problem. And definitely based on some of the characters in this book, at least their dialogue might sound something similar to the way I speak. So it is going to be a delicate balancing act to figure out how to fix this. But JT told me that it does have potential. It seems like the story is a good one. It's got some interesting plot developments and hopefully a good character arc. So those are the important starting points at least, and the rest of it can be molded. So basically right now what I have is maybe if I was a sculptor, I would have a piece of stone or marble or something that I've started to chip away at. I'm starting to see the outline of my finished product, but it's going to take a lot of smoothing to get there before it's recognizable to other people. And that is something we all go through as writers. No matter how long we've been writing, things change, we change, our ideas change, even in the middle of a project, and that can be difficult. So I think some of that may have factored into the current mess that I have on my hands, but I think it is a mess that can be cleaned up and polished so that it will be a good product, or at least something entertaining that people will want to read and to hopefully share with other people, because I think really that's what it all boils down to. I'm not expecting to win a Nobel Prize in literature or anything like that. I just want to provide someone a little escapism, you know, maybe play with their emotions a little bit, because sometimes we need that. It's cathartic. And this is probably a great time to provide that kind of resource for people, because we all need to get a little escapism in here and there whenever we can. So those are my thoughts for right now. Like I said, it's going to be short and sweet. I do have a second manuscript that I'm working on that I just recently started. It's something that I had a flash of inspiration while I was waiting for my beta read to come back, and I did start writing a little bit of it. I think it will probably be sidelined at least until I start cleaning up my current work in progress. As I've mentioned previously, I do have a 6-book series planned out in this this world. Let's see, I have the 3rd book written, but it needs a rewrite. The 2nd book is started, but not very far along. And I don't want to do anything with those until I get this 1st book in the series straightened out, so that the tone over the complete arc of the series will be consistent. The series will contain characters that hop from book to book, but the stories in each of the books will focus on a pair of characters within the story. So it won't, not everybody who is mentioned in each of the books will be the focus of the story. They'll kind of weave in and out of the stories, but each of them will get their own time to shine, because there are at least 6 couples. As I mentioned in this 1st book, there are actually 2 sets of couples, so that's 8 couples total. And we'll see how that plays out. I'd be interested to hear what you're working on. What part of the process are you in at the moment? Are you in the writing phase? Are you editing? What are your challenges and frustrations? What are your successes? We all need a little pat on the back, even if it's just you met your word count every day for a week. The little milestones matter. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this on this channel. I want to provide education and support, but I'm also keeping track of, it's a bit of a journal for me, I guess. I'm keeping track of this project because we often see the end result, but we don't see the process that gets us there. And the process can be very long and involved. And we all know as writers that no matter how much time and effort we put into a book, someone may sit down and read it within just a couple of hours, a day. And then, we've put weeks, months, and years of blood, sweat, and tears into it. And that's about how long it takes to consume it. So it's like creating that Thanksgiving dinner. You spend all day cooking, but everybody cleans their plates within a very short period of time. And, if it's something that people enjoy, hopefully they will revisit it and hopefully they will share it. So, but like I said, we need support, we need encouragement. We need to stick together as writers and as readers. So thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I hope to have a bit of a longer video next week. I need to see how my schedule plays out. Yesterday was a holiday and I did take the day off to hang out with my family, so I don't always take a day off during the week. Being a self-employed writer is kind of a 24/7 thing, because sometimes I even dream about what I'm working on. And again, if you are a fellow writer, I'm sure you understand very well where I'm coming from. So let's dive in and see how this goes. I will keep you posted as to my progress in revising this manuscript and preparing it for publication, the various steps along the way. Like I said, I've got the draft, I've got at least part of an initial beta read, and now I'm getting back into the depths of editing before we send it off to our editorial service, where it will get several rounds of editing, and that is something that I will be discussing more in future episodes. So thank you for stopping by. Happy to see you. Please, if nothing else, you can always say hi in the comments, and I'll be happy to say hi back, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.